We just had our second guest here at Denver Art House. I am going to check out the property and see how much damage has been done. This place hosts 16 people, so you just never know. I don't know, for some reason, I'm a little bit scared. It was a bunch of dudes, so you just never know. Okay, let's go in. Okay. Okay, it's not too bad. No funky smells. Okay, we've got a few towels. I don't understand why people put towels on like chairs. Just put it on the floor, people. But other than that, like, I mean, it's in pretty good condition. They left the toaster out. That's not like nothing crazy. Everything looks pretty good. And like pillows on the floor. This is when you know that this is a guy situation where they like leave all the pillows everywhere. It's fine though, but yeah, that's when you know guys stayed here, because just no concept. Bathroom looks fine. Check out the bedrooms. Wow, they really went through the hot tub towels. That's interesting, but not the end of the world. Sheets are fine. We tell people to just leave the beds as is. So I guess just so you know, we don't have crazy checkout rules. Literally, it's just leave the beds unmade, leave the towels on the floor. We do ask people to just put your dishes in the dishwasher. That way we know what's dirty and what's not. And if you can just put the trash in one area, that's about it. I don't know, maybe some people think that's crazy. I don't think that's crazy. Overall though, I'd say the house is in pretty good condition. Like I said, it hosts 16 people. That's a lot of people. Usually when I am booking a place for that many people, it can get pretty rowdy, but I mean, they really didn't do much here. They were out and about most of the time. They're in a cool city, so the nice thing is the whole point is to leave and explore the city while also enjoying the place. Let's go upstairs. Once again here, yep, left it in pretty decent condition, nothing crazy. Just towels and stuff on the floor, or not on the floor, but on, you know, in different places. Once again, nothing too crazy. I don't know what it was, but they really like put these hot tub towels everywhere. And we've got someone slept here. You can tell only one person slept here, down there. And then someone slept here too. But yeah, left in pretty decent shape, nothing crazy. Okay, let's go up. Check out this outdoor area. Yeah, great condition. I don't think they even use this area, to be fair, at all. Oh no, yeah, someone slept here. Someone slept there, but that's it. Overall, pretty decent shape. Okay, and the outdoor area looks great. No concerns or issues here. I know that they did hang out here. They used the hot tub quite a bit, but yeah, this looks pretty solid. Nothing concerning. And then I don't think they actually even used this area, which is so funny. Like, yeah, totally untouched. Wild. But yeah, so overall they left the place in pretty good shape. I have no qualms. It looks great. No major issues. Sure, they left things around, but like that's really normal in a hotel. You're gonna leave the bed unmade, you're gonna leave the towels on the floor. Pretty standard. That's the same thing that you're gonna get with guests at a short-term rental or at an Airbnb or at a hotel. It's all the same thing. You do want to vet your guests to make sure that they're not gonna go crazy up in here, you know? Okay, so now you might be wondering, how do I make sure that I don't get crazy party guests at my place? Or how do I make sure that my house stays intact, right? And I am not putting myself up for so much liability? Well, That's what we're gonna go over next. So here's the real question. What measures can you actually put in place so that you don't get crummy guests? Because the biggest fear that people have whenever they're first getting started investing in real estate is, oh, what if someone ruins my house? Or what if the toilet breaks? Or what if this, what if that, right? So what we're gonna do is go over 4 things that you have to put in place, especially if you're doing something like a short-term rental or a luxury short-term rental, so that you're consistently getting top-notch guests. Now you're definitely gonna wanna stay for the last one because that is by far the most important one out of this entire list. The first thing that you're gonna need to take into consideration is how are you marketing the property? Whenever you're writing out your listing description, you want to attract a certain kind of guest. And so that is who you want to be talking to in your listing. So whenever you're creating your listing, I want you to think of a specific person that you would like your ideal type of person who you want to book this property. How would you talk to them so that they have to book this place? What are they coming into town for? What activities are they doing? Try to speak to this exact kind of clientele and make sure the property represents that in the photography, in the style, in the vibe. For example, I generally make my properties kind of bougie, a little fabulous, right? Because I'm attracting kind of bougie, fabulous people. So the way you actually market your property will determine what kind of guests you're getting in there. The second thing that you want to put in place are minimum stay limits. The easiest way to spot a rager is if you have someone come book for one night with 15, 20 guests, right? Like if 16 people are booking my place for one night, I immediately have a red flag in my brain because I'm like, what are they doing here for one night? They're definitely gonna have a crazy party. Now, the thing is my property does allow for 16 people. It's not the 16 people that is like red flags. It's more the one night stay. Because in most situations, whenever you're planning a big group trip with friends or family for an event, anything like that, you're generally staying at least 2 days. It's usually not just a one-day stay. When it's a one-day stay, that's when someone's thinking of booking it for a party or a rager and they don't want to have it in their own house kind of thing, you know? So you can actually set it up in your listing so that you only allow 2-day stay minimums, 3-day stay minimums. If it's really far out, I force people to book longer stays because I want people to book longer stays and not book shorter stays if we're months and months out. And then the closer it gets to the booking date and if the dates are still available, that's when I start opening up the 3-day, 2-day stays. And then I rarely ever allow a one-night stay. It really just depends on the circumstance. You might be wondering, Olivia, okay, well, aren't you leaving money on the table? Yes and no, right? Because I would rather leave money on the table than have a crappy guest come stay at my place and ruin it where I'm gonna have to spend way more money than what I would have gotten for that one night. So I am currently reviving my YouTube right now and trying out different styles and different ways of creating videos. So if you like this video, make sure to actually hit that like and subscribe button. That way I know that you're vibing with this kind of style. Also leave a comment, let me know. It's literally the only way that I can get feedback from y'all to know what more videos I should create. Okay, let's get back to the video. The third thing that you have to put in place are house rules. Now, these are gonna be necessary because it sets the expectation for people right off the bat when they're booking their property. They can see it in their listing. I actually include my house rules in my listing so that people know these are the expectations right off the bat. And here's the thing, yes, it is gonna scare away some people. They're gonna be like, oh gosh, I don't know, there's so many rules, I don't know if we should book this place. Those are the people you don't want in your property, right? You want people who are okay with adhering to your house rules and are gonna treat it with respect and treat it well. And most of the time, most people, if they're good people and they aren't planning on wrecking your place, they'll have no issues with your house rules. If they're reasonable, of course. For example, at one of my properties, I have house rules that there are quiet hours at the property on the outside between 10 p.m. and 8 in the morning because we're located in a residential neighborhood. So we don't want it disturbing the guests and disturbing the peace of the residents. Inside the house, you're fine. But outside the house, no noise, it's quiet hours. You can hang out outside, of course, but don't be super loud. And if a neighbor comes and complains, there are gonna be repercussions. Now, the fourth and final thing you have to put in place to make sure that you're getting good guests at your properties are fines. And this goes well with the house rules, right? Like you break the house rules, you're gonna get fined. For example, I do not allow smoking at any of my properties. If we find smoking on the properties, any signs of smoking, smells, cigarette butts, anything like that, you will get fined the same way you would at a hotel, the same way you would at a restaurant. And you know what this also does? It repels smokers from coming, or at least from coming and smoking there. There are so many other places. If you want to go smoke, go to a park, but not in the house, right? Because that can affect future guests. For example, I'm slightly asthmatic. When I smell smoke, it's just not good at all. And we want to make sure that all of our guests have a fantastic stay. So we have certain fines that we put in place if you break the house rules. Also, here's a bonus tip for anyone who is house hacking and they're looking to short-term rent out their other unit or a part of their house. And if you don't know what house hacking is, I have so many videos and so many podcast episodes about it on my channel or on my podcast, The Wanderlust Wealth Show. So go ahead over there and look up house hacking. But the biggest tip that I have for house hackers is let them know that you actually live on the property. When I'm house hacking, I let them know, hey, by the way, I live on my own separate unit on the property. That way they know that the owner literally will be there. And for most people, it doesn't really matter, and it will scare some people away, and that is completely okay because you want the more chill guests. And another beautiful thing just about house hacking is if you end up hating the short-term rental process, that's okay, because then you can just change your strategy. You can make it a midterm rental or a long-term rental. That's the beauty of house hacking. It's getting into a property with a low down payment with way less risk than if you were just going to go buy a major investment property. You can test out all of these strategies with very little money down. Also, if you want to learn more about house hacking, I actually have a link in the comments that goes to my free training. It's completely free on exactly how you can get started investing in real estate within the next 3 months. Now, are all of these tips foolproof? No. At the end of the day, you're investing in real estate. It's a risk that someone may destroy your property or you may have a terrible guest. That is just life. It's like with a job. There's a risk that you might hate your job. There's a risk that you might hate your boss, right? But there are steps, and luckily with real estate, we have more control over who we let into our properties. And if you want to learn more just about how to actually run your properties on autopilot so that real estate investing is way less of a headache and so much easier and more passive to manage, make sure you check out this video because I go over exactly how to do that.